And when somebody tells you, hey, you have to work on your business, not in your business, I want to call BS on that. You have to work on it, in it, around it, in front of it, behind it, on the side of it, on the right side, on the left side, above it, below it. You have to do it. You have to do it all the time.
My big thing this year is I want to record 10 episodes, produce 10 episodes of this grit show. I'm really pumped on it. I think it's going to be really cool. So I've got a big vision for that, and that's going to take a lot of effort to move that mountain, um, to produce those 10. But that's a big goal for me. Um, I don't know why these aren't on the top of my head. That's what's been on my mind the last couple weeks. I see it on every wall of my office has some board about that. Uh, I want to have a year. We got this big yearly planning calendar, and so being more intentional about our year and planning some memorable family experiences is an important thing. And I also want to kind of cross off one of my kind of like personal fitness things. I want to do the presidential traverse up in New England. So those are kind of three.
What is that all about? What's the
It
presidential
is a
traverse? What
group.
is that?
It's like a traverse is like, a hike when you just go from point A to point B. It's not like, you just go on a trail. And so it goes over several mountains up in Connecticut. I think they're all in Connecticut. Um, but there's a peak up there. So anyway, it's a really cool hike that's it'll take 2 or 3 days to do. And I've never done anything like that, and I want to. There's some big hikes I want to do, and that's kind of the first one on the list to kind of knock off, and kind of just see what that's like, and see how challenging it really is.
So what's the goal for the hike? Is it to test your mental toughness? Is it your body toughness? What's the goal? Or is it just to say I did that?
Uh, I find a lot of I don't know what the right word is, so I'm going to end up kind of butchering this, but like a lot of self discovery about getting out and kind of pushing through that. I don't know if suffering may be a little bit of an intense word for what that is. I don't know that it's that intense. Uh, but I think there's a lot of self discovery in that. So the goal is just to kind of, what do I find out about myself, taking on some of these bigger, longer physical challenges.
I did hear of a group of guys one time going to Colorado and climbing a
14er.
10,000 or something,
14ers,
or I don't
yeah.
know, a 14. Yeah. And I was like, that might be interesting with a very exclusive group of guys, but I just don't. There's no part of that that says that's something I desire to do. Now, taking my
Yeah.
Bronco out to Moab and going rock climbing for an entire week and camping out of the back of my Bronco and just sleeping underneath the stars, that is something I plan to do
And I'm
this
all
summer.
for that too. Like, I love
So
anything motor, whether it's off-roading or on track or fast or I am all for that too, but I do like a good physical challenge. So, doing there's a, I want to do a 14er in Colorado. I want to hit some of the tall peaks like Mount Hood and Mount Whitney out west, but I feel like I kind of need to work up to that. I don't have experience doing those things.
how tall? How tall?
It
How tall is
it's
Mount Hood?
it's over 14,000 feet. And the Mount Whitney is the tallest in
Yeah.
the lower 48, and it's a pretty challenging exposed mountain. I want to work up to by my 40th birthday to do Denali, so that's going to take some time and effort to get there because I'm not equipped. I have no experience like with alpinism, but I'm fascinated by it. So I want to take that on because I kind of want to find like out like what happens mentally for me taking on something like that, when you get out there and you really have to dig deep, right? Like it's not physical. I think it's mental. So,
No, I would love to do a
yeah.
14er just to say I did it, but I also know that I don't want to go jogging every day to get in shape for it. And to me, that this does not sound like a useful, productive
I understand.
time in my life right now. But I will tell you though that I do think that goal setting every year is important. And what I've learned about goal setting, and I wrote down a quote. Let me see if I can find it. Well, this is a quote. I think it's a pretty good quote. I wrote down, "Your attitude shapes your reality. Your attitude shapes your reality. Everything can be taken from you, but your attitude is truly your own. Dream, visualize, execute, and then apply the attitude to shape your dreams." And I've been trying to, on my Monday morning meetings, I've been talking to the guys about their financial awareness. So one thing we did on the 29th of December is we did an entire company personal budget planning class where for 45 minutes, one of my key guys talked about building a budget, and we built them their own spreadsheet so they could put in all their bills and manage that. And it tells them how many hours of overtime they need to have. And then we brought in a financial advisor and we had him talk for 45 minutes just about the numbers, the power of 72. You've heard of the power of
I've heard you
72,
talk
right?
about it
Uh,
a little bit.
and yeah, the power of 72 is a number you can use to it's a multiplier you can use to figure out how long it takes you to
Right.
double your money. All right. So if you put in $5,000 into an account and you leave it there and it's there for uh 10 years, or I'm sorry, if it's at 10% interest, it's going to take 7.2 years to double that money. And understanding that growth of money and how you put $5,000 away and you leave it there for 30 years, it's going to double twice, or more than twice. It's going to double a little over 3 times. So um the idea is to teach these guys how to save money, but I've been trying to tell them too, you have to set a goal, and then you have to visualize the goal, and then you have to say, okay, I'm going to be disciplined enough to maintain what it takes to reach that goal. So dream it, visualize it, and then have the attitude that says, no, I don't need to go to the general store, Casey's General Store, 5 days a week. I'm going to go there on Tuesdays. Tuesday is my reward day. I'm going to go there Tuesday. The other 4 days, I'm going to bank that money and I'm going to put it away for future. And I'm going to bring a soft drink from home, or I'm going to bring something from home, or make a sandwich from home. I think it's good to reward yourself once in a while. I think it's important that we reward ourselves, especially for these guys out there that are digging holes and really physically getting after it. But I think the mindset needs to be, I have to take care of myself in the future. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of the people around me. So let's put some money away and let's start visualizing that goal. So for me, mountain climbing, I just can't visualize it. And I have I have no desire to do that. But I did go in yesterday for my
Oh yeah.
pilot's license physical, and I got my physical, and I passed the physical. I am a little colorblind, so I got to figure out how to get around that. I might be restricted to fly only during the day, which is fine for me. But flying is something that I want to put effort toward. I want to learn how to do that, and I can visualize myself doing it. Now I have to have the attitude of saying, "All right, I got to study," right? Which is hard for me because I'd rather be studying our books, our business, or better ideas here at the business, because I'm so fascinated still with our company. But I have to have the attitude to say, okay, every day I'm going to spend 30 minutes watching a video, learning, and having that right attitude to get it done. So, goal setting requires a vision and then requires an attitude. That's
I have a
my
question for
mindset
you.
on there.
First is I want to do so many things. So like pilot's license is definitely really high on my list.
Yeah.
I had to have a real hard self-talk because I thought, is 2024 the year to do that? And I realized for me the struggle is not having too many things, right? Because you just won't do it. You
Right.
can't you there's only so much time, and it's like you have to set priorities, right? If you make everything a priority, nothing's a priority. So here's my question though. One thing, I mean, I've run into this in the past, and I think it's a thing for a lot of people, is the tendency to set and bullshit goals. I don't know another way to say it. They sound good. They
Yeah.
sound like, oh yeah, that sounds nice. I would like to be out of debt or save $10,000 this year or pick the thing, but it doesn't connect to anything for somebody. What do you what is your advice about, like, how do you make sure that you're setting goals that mean something? Because if they don't mean anything, I don't think you stick with them.
Well, so I wish we had a better word than goal setting, because goal setting, everybody has goals. Everybody's like, oh, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do this. Which those really aren't goals.
Yeah.
Those are truly wishes. In my mind, I pick things that are going to either help me mentally, physically, spiritually,
Yeah.
monetarily, or impact the people around me. So, for instance, one of my goals is to spend a week in July in Moab, to just go and
Yeah.
disappear off the radar
Yeah.
for a week all by myself. I don't want to take anybody with me. I want to sleep in the back of my Bronco. I'm going to sleep in a sleeping bag or sleep on a cot. I'm going to get up every morning, make my coffee. I'm going to pack my own food, and I'm just going to go get off the radar. The reason why I want to do that is because I really want to nail the second half of this year. I think I'm ready and rested for the first half, and I want to get this. I want to just get everything. Whew, all right, let's go. Second half. Let's be ready for it. And I want to see if that helps me physically, spiritually be better at guiding our company. Which, by the way, I've stepped back away from Empire. I am no longer the day-to-day manager. That's Scott and Jamie. Scott and Jamie are the day-to-day manager. I have 5 officers now. I have 5 people that it's their job to make sure that company is moving in the right direction, profitable. I have become. I want the title founder. Along with that, there's 3 really important things that you need in business. You need money, you need people, and you need a vision. Well, Sarah's the money person in our company, along with a little bit of help from me, but mostly Sarah. Melanie is HR, the people, Melanie and Melissa and Luke, those people are HR. And then I'm the visionary. So I really want to be mentally ready to be the visionary. Now, those 5 guys that I have on my officer team, all us 3 are is support. Those 5 guys are going to run the company. So when I'm taking a break, I'm getting away from all the noise. I want to clear the mechanism. I want to just be connected the best I can. And I think that'll help me unwind and just decompress for a week. So when I pick my goals, I'm picking things. The pilot's license, I want to do that because I want to be able to get from point A to point B quicker. And I enjoy flying. I enjoy driving also. I could drive. If my guys needed me in Kansas City right now, they're like, Matt, it's a 911. We need you in Kansas City. 3 hours, I could be there in no time. And it doesn't bother me at all. But if I could fly there in an hour and a half and enjoy the flight as much as I do driving, or possibly more, then I want to learn how to fly. Plus, what if one of my guys has a meeting somewhere? I'm like, hey, I'll take you. I am also having another person in our company get their license and then I'll probably even hire a third person to help us out and go with us from time to time just to make sure we're safe. But I'm excited for that adventure. But you see, my goals always usually come back to the company somehow, in some way, for us to. But that's how I'm driven. That's what motivates me. I really want to work hard for the 104 people in our company, and I have no doubt by the end of the summer it's going to be 124. We're going to grow,
Yeah.
and we're already paced to grow, which is exciting. But that's, I think some people are out there like, oh, I'm gonna go do I'm gonna I'm gonna go to the Kentucky Derby. Okay, why?
Right.
What's the why? I would love to go to the Kentucky Derby because my middle daughter, my older daughter, loves horses, loves that environment, and would love to see that someday. So that I would take her. That would be my goal or my why for doing it. This understanding your why, and I really think that if you can bring most things back to a why, you're going to be ultra. You're going to be able to magnify who you are and what you do, and that's tough to do, right? It's tough to keep growing and keep learning. You know, I listen to 30 to 60 minutes every single day of either Nightingale, Roan, Cynic. I mean, all those people every single day with the hopes that someday I'll be really good at culture and understanding business and how it works with the people.
Yeah.
That's my goal and my dream.
It does make sense, and I
Make
am
sense?
definitely thinking most people don't know who Earl Nightingale is, but check it out. He's like the granddaddy. So if you want, yeah, yeah,
He is. Should have. Yeah, I probably dropped
right.
a name there. Everybody's
And
like, "Who? What?" I'm fascinated how far ahead of his time his thinking he was. What an inspiration. What a great human.
I think he
No,
is very inspirational, and it's awesome to check out his stuff. I think it's like you said, way ahead of his time. My question is, and if you don't mind sharing it, you talked about your why. What is your why, Matt? What is the thing that, if you don't mind sharing? If you don't want to, I understand.
my my why is people. I like to take care of people. I have this thing that I really truly want to buy as many meals for people as I can in life. When we go out for dinner, very rarely are you ever going to sneak the card to the waitress before I am, because I want to buy. That's that's my gift to people. Plus, I'm a big fan of the Last Supper and the story of the Last Supper, and how whether you believe in Jesus or not, how a man had dinner with his best friends, which two will betray him, but yet he still ate, broke bread, and ate with them, and he washed their feet. So in my mind, eating meals together just brings us together. It's a great story. It's a great bond. I love it, and my why is taking care of our people, and to a probably to a point of almost a fault. Sometimes I'm probably giving them the fish more than often than teaching them to fish, and it's my passion. It's 100% my why.
I see that.
The people.
I see that in our time together.
And I hope that when if people do come and see us and visit us, and that they see, holy cow, this is legit. Now that doesn't mean we're not going to have to terminate people, or people aren't going to leave, or sometimes I'm like, hey, that person's just not a good fit for our culture or who we are or where we're going. And everybody needs to pull their weight and have a sense of an ROI,
Mm.
to put it bluntly. But along the way, man, I get to surround myself with, every Monday we do these Monday morning meetings. I have 80 to 90 people every single Monday together. And I told them this Monday, I said, listen, I know some of you are in winter, right? I try to teach the guys to
Yeah.
understand what season are you in. You know, for me, man, I'm right at the end of spring, headed towards summer in my life. I really do. A couple years ago, I was in a winter. I was in a really dark place. I was in a horrible environment. I went to therapy. I got myself straight. Right now, I'm thinking that I'm at that end of my spring, getting ready to go into that summer, which is awesome because we're excited. The company's growing. We're adding people. We're adding revenue. We're adding jobs. It's so exciting to see what the group of companies, our 5 companies, are doing. And I know where I'm at. So you need to know where you're at. And once you recognize where you're at, you need to work on it. But remember this, at least when you come here at Empire, you get to surround yourselves with people that care about you, no matter what season you're going through. So I I said the other day to a friend of mine, I said, I don't want to live life anticipating death, but I do truly want to live like I'm dying. Does
Yeah.
that make sense at all?
Yeah, there's have you ever heard of the Stoic philosophy of memento mori, remember death, remember death. So
No,
there's a
no.
practice in stoicism that is it's kind of keeping cognizant of the finality of our life, not to, like you said, be focused on dying, but making the most of all the opportunity that we have, and the gift. And I think if we don't have a perspective on that, we kind of start to live like we have forever. We don't live like it's final, right? We, waste a day, waste a week. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't live at
There you
all.
go. Yeah.
So I think right now we're here in our company, what we're doing, our families, the people around us. I think we're in a great spot, and that doesn't mean we're not going to have hard times ahead. I anticipate them. The bumps in the road are going to test who you are, and they truly are going to make you stronger and better. And that's why at Empire we don't have problems.
Mm.
We have riddles. A problem is terminal cancer. Is a classmate of mine that just passed away. He got an ear infection. 5 days later, got meningitis, dead.
Mm.
50 years old. My classmate of mine. That's a problem. That's a terrible situation. What we go through in business when we uh, have projects that go wrong, or that we possibly even run out of cash, that's a riddle, right? They're solvable. And if you're going to be a great entrepreneur, you better get good at solving riddles. So learn to understand and how to recognize the differences between a problem and a riddle. Because most of the time, it's not a problem. Oh, I got a problem. You got a
Yeah.
problem? Or is it a riddle? Because we can solve riddles. Problems can't always be solved.
I like that. Yeah, I think that makes
Make
a lot of
sense?
sense. Absolutely. If I've I think if you don't enjoy solving those riddles, being in business is going to be a not very enjoyable experience, right? Like, because that's what it's really about, is
It really is. And and the reason why I don't want to say a problem, because, well, you know what, a Stoic that I
oh
have been
yeah.
studying is Marcus Aurelius, which yeah, what a fascinating study. Hard to understand, really. He died at a young age. He's murdered at a young age. But he had said that our obstacles are our path. So a riddle is something that you're supposed to solve to get through the path. A problem is something that we should probably try to avoid
Yeah.
if we can. sometimes you just got to go right through those riddles, and you got to solve them, because that's how you learn how to prepare. Once you run out of cash one time and you get down to that last penny, and you're holding your own paycheck, and you're making sure everybody's getting paid, and you're all panicked inside, you're going to learn how to recognize when that happens next time, so you can get to the bank and say, hey, we have some growth coming, so therefore I need a line of credit. I have learned so much, and right now, one thing. So I have about 5 things in 2024. I'm going to try to do a really good job of, and one of them includes you. Pilot's license, a week in Moab, but better yet, I'm going to try to take a week every month and go do something fun or exciting. The other one, one of my other goals is, or things that I want to accomplish this year, is I want to be more open to my friends in the industry, or business entrepreneurs, and answer a phone call when they need help, or let them know that, listen, I get it. It's a grind, and it takes a ton of grit and a ton of focus to be great at what we do. A ton, more than you can ever imagine. But I'm at this point where I'm actually feeling some of the fruits of our business. I'm actually at the point where I feel like, I wouldn't say we have everything under control, because I think we're a hot mess. But I look around and I'm like, holy cow, we are doing some great things. I want to share that inspiration or that idea with my fellow entrepreneurs and say, keep grinding, baby. And when somebody tells you, hey, you have to work on your business, not in your business, I want to call BS on that. You have to work on it, in it, around it, in front of it, behind it, on the side of it, on the right side, on the left side, above it, below it. You have to do it. You have to do it all the time. And then once you start getting some momentum, you have to let the flywheel go, and then start trusting other people to help you. And you have to let that flywheel keep going. And once that flywheel gets going, you can start stepping away from it a little bit more, and you can start getting away from it. You have to let that flywheel get going. And nobody's going to start that damn flywheel other than you. So you have to have a ton of grit to get it going. That's one of my goals. And I'm hoping to do that with you, in the fact that we can get together and talk like this and say, hey, here's a guy that's willing to listen. There's a lot of people out there telling you how to do business. Most of them have pulled away from their business so far that they're not even involved in their business anymore. They're just on a podcast or on a training thing, and they've lost it. I want to stay as well connected with our company that I still know what's going on, so I can share those details. This new foundation that we built, remember I was telling you that we built a new foundation with our leadership team, the way we approach our riddles, the way that we approach money, the way that we approach our growth, the way we're going to acquire another business this year. We're going to add a 6th business this year. It's matter of fact, we're meeting tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to kind of put the numbers together. We're going to build a building or 2 more this year. I want to stay connected enough that I can share those things with people out there and say, hey, this is kind of what we did. But I don't want to do it for a living. I don't want to go be a coach. I don't want to charge people for coaching. I am going to try to do a better podcast booth so you and I can get some better content out. And our product, My Salesman, I think is a great time saver. And I call it a mini time machine, because it does save you some time, which is difficult to do. You know how passionate I am about saving time and being efficient. So I want to promote that product, but along the way, I just want to try to help people too. That's one of my big 2024 goals, is to be available, to record some content, to help people, to take a phone call, to tell somebody, hey, I'll be your cheerleader.
Love it.
because you need that once in a while. You need somebody in your corner once in a while.
I love it, man. I thoroughly enjoy when we have this time together. So sign me up.
Good, good. Well, hopefully we can get things worked out where we can do it more often and carve away time because I enjoy it too, and I have so many things on my mind, so many things I want to tell people, so many things I want to say. Oh my goodness, go talk to your banker months
Mm.
before you need money. Go ask your banker to help you understand why you're running out of money. They'll do it for free because they want you to be
Yeah,
successful. All those
love it,
little
man.
things.
Well, it sounds like 2024 is going to be an exciting year.